have Marufo call the case and then we can discuss it.
Yes, Your Honor.
In cause number 2022 DCV 0314 Ramon Carrion versus Von Fenwell's Elite German Shepherds and Cindy Hermenes. Announcement of council, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Marquez on behalf of the plaintiff, here, ready to proceed.
All right, what is going on with this case, Mr. Marcus?
Your Honor, we are set for a default judgment hearing today.
Okay, did we serve her properly?
We have served her with the motion for default judgment. I believe, let me check the notice on the hearing if that, I believe the notifications has the certificate of service that says it was sent to her. She does have her or we have her email as a service contact on the Odyssey e-file system.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if the notification, the order setting the hearing, Your Honor, we did not send it to her electronically, and I'm not sure if it got sent out through the Odyssey e-file service to her.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so what I'm showing is the affidavit of service. Okay, you did the substitute service too? The substitute so you could serve it?
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, Your Honor, I am looking at the certificate of service, the automated certificate of service through the Odyssey e-filing system for today's hearing. And it does show that the defendants were served through the email on file.
Okay, for today's hearing?
For today's hearing, yes, Your Honor.
Is that going to be on the motion for default judgment? Is that where it's going to be?
It is, we got the notification on June 15th.
There it is.
Your Honor, the order of court setting.
The automated certificate of service. There it is.
And it shows the email address for the defendants, which is the email address that we have for them and that was used for the substitute service.
All right. All right, well then I'm going to go ahead and sign your, did you send me a copy of your, let me see, I know your motion was filed. Let me see if there's an attached order.
No, Your Honor, we did not have the order. I wasn't sure if the court wanted to have an evidentiary hearing on the matter, or we can just get an order proposed and sent to you.
Have you already presented the facts to Judge Perez?
We have not.
Oh, you have not?
We have not. Not on the default, no.
Okay. Okay.
And we can wait, Your Honor, as well. I mean, we can hold off to have another hearing. That's fine.
Well, let me read your motion. Give me a second. It was the one filed on April 13th, 2022?
It was actually filed after that on June 14th.
June 14th. I have motion for default judgment filed April 13th, 2022.
And there was also one filed on June 14th, Your Honor.
Okay, let me read this one really fast.
Sure. And the reason was because there was an issue with the substituted service. We had to get it done again.
Okay. And they've never replied?
They have never entered an answer formally, Your Honor. They have reached out to myself and my client on this, but there was never a resolution, a formal resolution of the case with them, but they have never filed an answer.
Right. Okay. For the record, so that it's on the record, just give me a brief summary. And then I'll make a ruling, because if they're ignoring us this much, who's to say that giving them 3 more months is going to help the situation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a brief summary.
Your Honor, In November of 2020, Mr. Carrion entered into a contract with the defendants for the purchase of a German Shepherd dog. The purpose or the intended purpose for the dog was to be used as a show or competition dog by Mr. Carrion. The approximate purchase price of the dog was $4,500. As a term of the contract with the defendants were to provide Mr. Carrion with the documentation necessary to have the dog registered as a pure breed German Shepherd for show and competition purposes. That documentation was never provided to Mr. Carrion until after the filing of the lawsuit, despite numerous attempts by Mr. Carrion to engage in self-help to get the defendants to comply with the terms. Subsequent to the filing of the lawsuit, the documentation was provided to Mr. Carrion by the defendants. On June 13th, he was able to have the dog registered as a pure breed German Shepherd, and so that he may now use it for the intended purpose for which the dog was originally purchased. However, because of that delay in time, the dog lost the opportunity to be entered into shows, which are in this industry vital during the first 2 years for purposes of having the dog trained in competing in shows, the placement in shows, the industry standards such as a breed survey being done. It all gets very specific in this industry, but suffice it to say that how well a dog does during shows during this time, especially a dog of this pedigree, increases the dog's value in the future and its ability to continue competing at higher levels. And so the dog has lost value due to that because it was not able to compete during that time period from November of 2020 until June of 2022. Additionally, Mr. Carrion expended resources in having the dog groomed and in vitamins and medical supplements for the dog in order to keep it competition ready in the event that the defendants would comply and get him the documentation necessary to have it entered into shows. Your Honor, we estimate that the approximate loss in value based on industry standards in the dog's future value is $2,500. The cost incurred by Mr. Carrion for grooming the dog were $540 in total. The cost for vitamins and medical supplements for the dog were $1,440 in total. Mr. Carrion's cost in filing the lawsuit were $376.58 and $372 for service. Mr. Carrion was required to hire an attorney, myself, in order to represent him in this matter. I have expended 10 hours of work at $300 an hour for a total cost of $3,000. I am licensed in the states of New Mexico, Texas, and California. In September of this year in New Mexico, I will have been licensed for 15 years. I've been licensed in Texas since 2014 and licensed in California since 2015. Based off my experience, this type of case and the issues involved, I believe that a rate of $300 an hour is reasonable, and the amount of time expended on the case is a reasonable amount of time. And so we would ask the court for costs, attorney's fees, and damages as we have specified.
All right. Okay, Mr. Marcus, go ahead and prepare your judgment. I'm going to go ahead and have Ms. Wright prep up the summary that you gave. She doesn't need to start at the beginning, just the summary. I'll have that prepped so that Judge Perez can go ahead and review it with the default judgment that you want signed. Okay, so we'll go ahead and set this. Ms. Wright, how much time do you think you will need for just the summary portion of this?
Whenever you'd like, Judge.
Huh?
Whenever you'd like, Judge, it'll be fine.
Can I give you, is a month enough?
Oh, yes, ma'am, of course.
Okay, Mr. Marcus, we'll set you in a month. And if the judge is able to read it beforehand and sign it, they'll let you know and they'll cancel the hearing, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. But for right now, 1 month, all right?
Thank you.
Thank
May we
you.
be excused?
Yes, if you have nothing further with the court, yes, you may.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Marufo, who is next?
Middle of page 3, Judge.
Okay,
In
go ahead
cause
and call
number-
the case when you're ready.
Yes, Judge. In cause number 2017, DCV 3345, Benjamin Pizarro et al. Versus Ali Mohammed Nasur, MD et al. Announcement of council, please.
Al Melendez on behalf of the plaintiff, Your Honor.
All right,
Good morning, Your Honor. Rebecca Alvarez on behalf of Dr. Nasur and Texan Cardiovascular Institute defendants.
all right. Thank you, everybody. You all are set for a status conference today. Where are we with this case?
Judge, the purpose of this is just to get a settlement permission from the probate court, and we did that last week. We were able to get approval because it's a dependent administration. And so we forward that this week to counselor, and I think we forwarded all the other the settlement document as well. So the order settlement document, and I think I got word that they're going to be sending a check eventually. And I also transferred to or said to the attorney an order that we're going to deposit the check into the registry of the county clerk, pending distribution by the probate court. So I think we're done, except for just the money and getting a dismissal on this case, Judge.
All right, how long before the monies will be transferred, deposited, and you'll send me that dismissal? I don't want to lose you on the docket.
Let me ask counselor what she thinks.
Yes, Your Honor. We have already requested the check. We expected to have it in the next 14 to 21 days. And so we anticipate that we should be able to get this all wrapped up by the end of the month.
All right, I will go ahead and set you all for, I'm going to give you 45 days. Okay, so I'm going to give you a month and a half. I'm going to set it for what will be called do you want it called settlement conference, or do you want it called dismissal hearing?
Dismissal is good, Judge?
I like dismissal too. You okay with that, Ms. Alvarez?
That's perfect, Your Honor.
All right, it's going to be set for a dismissal hearing in 45 days. If you all get the paperwork sent to us earlier, we will sign it earlier and you'll be removed from the docket, okay?
Thank you, Judge, so much.
right. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
I'll take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, you too. Bye.
Mr. Marufo, who is next?
Top of page 3, Judge.
Okay,
In cause number 2022, DCV 0195, Juan Garcia Jr. versus EP Integrated Fire Systems and Concepts LLC et al. Announcement of council, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. This is James Fuel on behalf of the plaintiff, Juan Garcia.
okay. I'm showing Melissa Baeza. Are you
Yes,
with her
She-
also?
yes,
Just
she's
making
my
sure.
partner.
All right, and then do I have a defense attorney now?
David Leffman, yes, Your Honor, David Leffman on behalf of EP Integrated Fire Systems and Concepts, Jorge Lopez Jr., Gonzalo Garcia, and Andy Dominguez.
Okay, couple of things just before we keep going. Mr. Leffman, for some reason you weren't on my docket, so I'm not sure why.
Appearance was entered on Friday, Your Honor, that's why. General denial was filed Friday. So
Okay.
maybe they just didn't print out a new sheet.
Okay, and then just triple checking that the Gonzalo Garcia is not the former Judge Gonzalo Garcia, that this would be a conflict in this court.
No, ma'am. This is a different, a younger individual than the former judge.
Okay, just making sure before we continued. All right, so this is a status conference. You just got served, you just filed your answer, so we're just starting this, aren't we?
Yes,
Yes, we've actually moved. Did set up a mediation, Your Honor. I don't know if you want to speak to that, Jimmy, or me, or.
yeah, Your Honor, included in our petition was a motion to compel mediation because the company agreement at issue requires mediation before a lawsuit's filed. We weren't able to get that scheduled, so we finally filed the lawsuit, trying to get the mediation scheduled. We're now scheduled for mediation at the end of August.
Okay, who are you with?
Mitch Moss.
Okay,
So it may be best to set another status conference in September.
that's what that was thinking. So you're late August with Mitch Moss?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let us go late September. Okay, I'll give you a month from after your mediation to see where you all are at and to continue any conversation you all need. Okay, so we will set you all for late September, and I will keep it at a status conference for that too.
Understood.
All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you,
Your
Mr.
Honor.
Leffman, and thank you for understanding why I didn't know about you. I appreciate that.
Not a problem.
Thank
I
you.
can understand.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If nothing further, you both are excused.